Yes, class, I am audible to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what is the total strength? Yes, Icon. In the previous class, how many students are present?
So almost 53.
53. They will join. So, if you do one thing, you can mark your attendance by writing present in the chat box. Right. So, can anyone tell me what we are discussing in the previous class? Yes, who will say? Yes, Deepak, are you there? I'm audible, Deepak. Yes, Deepak, I'm audible to you. We have talked about these things in the previous class. That is, what are the challenges possessed by cloud and IoT together? Then we talked about the challenges in different dimensions. As you can see, for data handling, for networking and communication protocols which are coming across. And one of the major issues that we have found over here is that protocols are not much supportive for mobility, right? So for mobility is still again a concern for us, and that's why we are saying there is a need to have some protocol which will work on this. This is an open research area till now. You can work this with this way. We don't have any some kind of yes, yes. Any who is there? Okay, so in this particular, we are saying that the concern is mobility, right? And then we talked about security. Security is a common but is required for a very diverse system, and diverse in a sense we having a different types of hardware, we having a different types of networking or a different communication protocol, and all these things are converging at some point, and we are going to provide a security module for that. So this is very important and required. And one more thing that I want to add is this, that the security the solution we are going to provide to this IoT devices is not limited for few years, right? Not limited with a few years. They may require for a decade, right? As you can see, one example which I can share with you, like for example, if a car where we have wanted IoT concepts, and if we implemented that thing for our vehicle, so you can see vehicle is going to exist for 10 to 15 years, right? So we don't, we are talking about all the vulnerabilities, right? All the vulnerabilities or type of attack which going to penetrate this system for next 15 years. We are just not talking about 2 to 3 years. We are not talking about few years of solution, security solution. We are talking about that how we are going to provide this security solution which, for a decade, for more than a decade, since uh, there are multiple types of attack which is going to come in year, a year to go, and we need some kind of solid solution for that. We need a concrete solution, right? So it is not like that the solution which you have given earlier will work for the next 10 years, right? We know that, that how technology evolves, and there are different types of attack which are nowadays penetrating this system, like anything, like Mirai attack is one of them, right? So in that Mirai attack, what is happening? You can see that uh, the the hacker is basically hacking the IoT devices which are connected at your home, and but they are not harming your system. They are using your system to harm someone else. So you are not basically aware of this thing. So that thing basically doesn't matter for you, right? So what I mean to say is over here that this Mirai attack is nowadays a very dangerous, and people are basically facing this issue. Even they are not aware about that their system is hijacked, and their system is being used to attack someone else, right? So well, basically the point over here is the hacker does not want to disturb uh, a normal or a common or a basic hardware. They want to use this normal or common as a where this Mirai is basically nothing but a kind of boat, right? So they just want you to act as a boat for them, and then they can intensify the attack to someone individual over there who had some kind of assets. So they don't want, they are not interested in your assets. That is very limited, and you have, and even you are not aware, so you don't have problem with that, right? So you are not putting much security, right? So this is the major problem that we are facing nowadays with the security point of view for IoT, right? And this drastically depend upon the type of application you are going to use. As we have told you that somewhere in a grocery in a grocery environment where we are selling and buying the products, right? In retailer and all, where we are using the concepts of IoT, the intention is different. The intention might be different, and they are trying to steal your credentials, their credit card, right? So that they can uh, get some kind of money or something they want. They get some your personal information from there, right? Or whereas in this case, you can see where I've told you the car is a application for your IoT. Then anyone want to control the brakes, right? So we need to sure that the security solution we are going to provide for this application is not same level. They having a different level and intensity, right? So it need to work. Might need it that depending upon their availability in the market. So if this thing is going to stay for 10 years, so we need to provide that solution which is going to handle all the vulnerabilities which could be going to happen, right? Would going to happen in future. So that is the point all in all. And this is a very giant network of internet working devices. So not only the devices we are saying, that we need to secure even the network we need to secure, and the internet working devices we need to secure, and where the data is going to kept, where we are going to keep the data, that thing also need to be secure. So all in all, that's the point that need to be noted down, right? So this is what we have discussed in the previous class, and I hope you have understood that why security basically matters to us and why we need that thing, right? Yes, class, just hold on. I have to take a attendance. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Yes, if you have any doubt, you can ask. Okay. Let me clear the screen then. So moving further, this was we have been in the previous lecture. We talked about all these things. We have the communication path, we have the data, we have the device. We need to protect them. Then we talked about the CIA, and in that particular, we said that confidentiality, integrity, and availability are the three pillars for the application security applications. And in that, we need to uh, maintain them, right? Where we are saying that these are the IoT security problems, and these are some type of attacks. One is DOS, that is a denial of service attack, right? Where the service is not available to the valid user. That is the point. And how this thing is performed basically by attacking to the server with a you can say that sending multiple requests to the server, and server will get busy to respond to that multiple request. So if a valid user is now in this in any communication with the user with the server, then server will not able to respond to the valid user. So in that way, we are saying that we're not providing the service to the valid user, and that is a denial of service. That means basically, and this attack is then further intensified by adding more number of users, and that is distributed denial of service, where multiple bots are being created. We call them zombies. They acting as zombies or dummies. Whenever the attacker want, they activate these zombies, and then all together they get attack on one single server. So then there is a handling capacity. You know that server has some handling capacity. Up to that limit, server can receive and respond. But if that limit exceeded, then server will get in a mode where server is not going to respond because there is a crash. And then again, if a valid user who want to communicate, right, who want to access the server service, will not be able to get on time. So that was the point. Then we are saying that unauthorized access. We are saying that in an organization or in any uh, industry or some other organization, but we are saying that we have to provide a authorized access or a privilege to those who have at their uh, according to their uh, validity, or you can say according to their position. As you can see, if a CEO of a company or an organization will have a full privilege or full access as compared to a fresher who has just joined an organization. So, do you think that a fresher in an organization will have a full access to all the database or to all the system which is designed for an organization, right? It is very dangerous to provide this to a user. So what we do is we limit them with some kind of access, right? So they will not have the full privileges to access each and every file or content, whereas the main the leader, the CEO of the company, who has the main access because you want to monitor each and every aspect of the things. So here you can see we have given a different access to depending upon the user, type of user you are using the service, right? So that was that's the reason we are saying we have to. So if this person is going to have an unauthorized access to some other level, so we have a level of security. You can see we have a classification of security in a vertical way, where if you see that vertical markets such as retailers and all, they cannot give access to all access to each and every employee. In a sense, they want to hide that information from certain users, right? So that's why we need this thing, and this type of attack most probably is happening, so that they can steal the information and then they can manipulate it, they can use it according to their need. So these are the problems that could be there for your IoT devices. Then whatever the uh, information they grab, they can do manipulation for that, and then they disclose that information to the some other way to make some kind of benefit from them. Right? So these are the things that we have studied in the previous class. Then we talked about that what is integrity, where we are saying that we are talking about integrity of data, where data need to be communicated over a transmission channel, where the channel is not safe enough to handle that thing, and we need some other mechanism in which that data which we are sending over an internet medium, right, that traffic through that there, there, that data is not safe. Anyone can steal your data if it is not secured properly, encapsulated properly over here. So we are talking about how we can achieve this thing. We need to validate that whatever the user has sent, the data user has sent, the same data is received on the receiving end. So integrity is required over here. And how we are going to achieve integrity, we have talked about some method. We have talked about SHA, where this is a secure shell algorithm. SHA stand for secure hash algorithm. They are basically kind of blocks which is being generated from messages, and these digest box, or you can say blocks, are then forwarded with the message, and then it is received on the receiver. So here the receiver is basically going to match that digest, that hash that is received from the sender, is going to match it with the data. If that thing going to same, then we can say that integrity is maintained for the data which is received by the receiver, right? So that we have discussed in the previous class. And then we talked about, we have this SHA 256. We have in different version of SHA, and where we can see we having a block size of 512. And if some of the bits are, again, if it is not there, so we can simply uh, fill that space with some zeros and ones. Zeros and ones, we call it padding, right? And then we are putting that thing together, and we are getting some kind of hash. This is nothing but the digest. And one of the application where we are using this technique is known as blockchain. Nowadays we are using it over there for maintaining the integrity, right? So that is the epitome, where we are saying we are using SHA 256 with RIPE MD 160, right? So here we have talked about this thing. Now, talking about that is secure hash algorithm, you can see we have different families for this. Now, I just want to tell you that talking about security, security is not a very small area. It is very big domain, where we can see this. I'm just in this few slides, I have taken only few algorithms. There are thousands of algorithms which are designed, and even they are modified with new versions, right? So I'm just talking about the latest one, or I'm just talking about those algorithms which you can use for your explanation when you are having some question related to this, right? So you can have this some little bit of knowledge for this particular, right? But you don't have this thing in your syllabus. But yes, if we are talking about security, you must know about some of the algorithms. What are they and how we are using them, right? So secure hash algorithm is also known as SHA, and we having this cryptographic function so that we can able to keep our data secure, right? It works by transferring the data and using some hash function, right? An algorithm, nothing but, as I told you in the previous slide also, we have a hash function which generates some kind of hash, and we also call it digest. So that digest is now formed. How we can able to form that digest, that is what I'm telling you. That is by using some kind of operations which is known as bitwise operation, modular operation, addition or compressions. So these are some functions known as A, B, C, D, this type of functions which are using for by using some kind of bitwise operators, XORs, right? We are performing this thing and we are putting some math into this, and then we are getting some random jumble words, right? Digits, zeros and ones, which could not be easily retransferred to the original one. It is not easy for anyone to make it to its original form. Only those who are aware, they can do that. But how they have done this thing, they can only do the reverse engineering, but they cannot do it on the other side, right? So not everyone can do that reverse engineering over here. So that's what it is saying. The hash function, that hash function basically produce a fixed size string, and that looks nothing like the original. So whatever the original it was is now a something different. They are not related with each in each other when you're going to look at it, right? So these algorithms are one-way function, means they transform into a respective hash. One-way function means we input a message and then they transform it into a some kind of uh, digest or digits, that is 0 and 1, we call it digest, and then we use it to confirm that on the receiving side that this data what we have sent is the same one that is sent by the receiver, right? So this is one of the hash function, that is a secure hash function SHA we are using for integrity. Now moving further, we are having the next type for our we required an algorithm for authentication. Now, what means over here is that we need to authorize or we need to identify the user that who has sent that data is the correct one, right? Not even we are saying that data is correct. Okay, it may happen that intruder has created a data and intruder has created the digest also, and then it is forwarded to the receiver. Now receiver on the end will check and compare it where it is going to match. But here you can see these two things is being generated by the intruder, right? So the hacker is basically playing with that, uh, playing with the entire thing. And if hacker is trying to avoid or block the data of an authorized user and then forward the data and become an authorized user, right? And over here, the receiver will think that I have received the data from the authorized user, right? So what will happen? Whatever the data this intruder will send will be validated by the receiver on the other end, which is totally wrong. So what we are saying that we need to authenticate over here, and how we are going to do this. For that, we have a MAC protocol that is known as Message Authentication Code. Please note it down. This code is different from, this method is something different from hash that we have seen in SHA. So this is not SHA. It is different from SHA, where SHA is talking about maintaining the integrity, where MAC is talking about maintaining the integrity along with the authentication. Please remember this part. MAC is providing you both the CIA. In that we are talking about the pillars. It is maintaining the integrity also, and it is also maintaining the authentication. And how it is going to do is with the help of some kind of keys over here. So here they are using some kind of authentication method, and that some kind of authentication method is nothing but some symmetric keys which can be used to cipher and decipher by using some kind of ciphering algorithm. That ciphering algorithm will basically converts your message and along with the key. Please remember here we are not inserting any key. Key is not using SHA in the previous scenario where we are talking about. Whereas in this Mac, we are talking about now, we are going to insert a key. That key is basically playing an important role because that key is only known by the sender, right? And in that sense, we are saying that yes, we are validating, we are authorizing, we get an authorized message from a valid user only. Otherwise, this may be a case where a sender who has become is a false sender, right? So try to send you a digest or try to send you a hash which is actually created with the data and which is definitely going to match on the receiving side, but whatever the data and digest is sent is by the fake user and which is not known by the receiver. So in this way, sender that criminal, you can say the cyber, what we call in the hacker, is trying to fool the receiver on the other end, right? So how we can avoid that challenge? We are talking about, in a sense, if we insert a key, so that's why we are saying now we will have a key because if sender knows that key, receiver knows that key, then only they will come to know, yes, okay, this is a valid user, right? From where we have received. Not only data is maintaining integrity, even data is being received from a valid user, not an unauthorized user, right? So authentication is one of this, and dealing with this, we having a protocol which is known as HMAC SHA2, or this is called hash based MAC, right? So where we are maintaining a hash of data and a secret value for maintaining the authentication, right? Moving further, you can see that this is an algorithm for your Mac where sender having a message and receiver want to receive that message. And we have to assure that not only that authentication, that integrity of that message is maintained, but also that key which assure that that user is a valid user. So how we are doing that? You can see in the previous scenario, we are using a SHA algorithm. That SHA algorithm is basically generating from a message, and we are not applying any key. So that is missing in case of SHA. So what is happening is that anyone can fake or anyone can fool the receiver on the other end, but in this particular, you can see that we have now added one point, that is key K, which is added with this MAC algorithm. And this MAC algorithm will generate a map which will be sent along with the message on the other side. Now the user will receive the message and then the user will use it with the where that key is common on the other side also. So that only can able to have this MAC, and if this received MAC and the MAC which is generated by the receiver is same, it means yeah, the integrity is checked and the authenticity is also checked. The message is authentic and integrity is also checked. So I hope you understood what I'm going to say about the authentic over here means that the valid user has sent and some if it is not equal, it means that that might be the key which is random or used by some kind of intruder who does not know actually the key, right? Now the point here is if somehow the hacker come to know about the key, then again the hacker can able to uh, penetrate or it can able to fool the receiver on the other end, right? So yes, we need something else for that. We were going to talk about the next slide, but yes, this is what your MAC protocol. Point here is that integrity and authenticity is maintained in your MAC authentication, right? As compared to your SHA, where only we are maintaining integrity of data, right? We are not able to maintain that thing. So here you can see one video I just want to share, and I just talked about this Mirai attack, which is just happening nowadays. And this attack is basically first experienced by one of the white hacker itself, right? Who basically work against the criminals. So they try to do this thing with them, and that white hacker is basically the victim of this Mirai attack. This first happens in 2015-18, right? So I just want to show you this thing. I hope you can able to see this class. So you may have 2 to 5 marks question. What is Mirai attack and how this thing, for MST point of view, I'm just telling you, right? Please pay attention. Yes, so what has happened over here is, I just want to say that in your Mirai attack, there is a intruder who want to attack an individual, and that intruder is basically trying to capture or possess the other IoT devices which are having weak security. So these are the multiple IoT devices which does not require much security, or they are just connected with the internet for their some normal uses, right? So people are now using this thing, and they are just connecting their hardware, right? So these are some IoT devices. So one person over here who want to get access, and they simply get access of these devices, and they get possess of this thing. So here you can see the attacker basically will use this device, and then they can uh, get that attack over a single device or a single user on the other end, so that they can attack this person, right? So this is a victim, suppose, and this victim machine, right, will not able to handle all the requests, or you can see which is sent from all the IoT devices over here, right? So this is the casual approach of the users that yes, my device is not much uh, or required any kind of security. So they keep it just like a simple password, or they even don't change their password of their cameras, IP cameras they are using. So this tendency basically help the attacker to easily get access to these devices. And even these attacker are very smart, and they are not disturbing the normal uh, working of these devices. So it was like the user of these devices or the owner of these devices will see that there is no